Wednesdays are, rather. Got a little confused there. I'm so excited about today's Hatriot Mail that I just said it wrong. Let's tell you a little bit about Hatriot Mail.
Hatriot Mail, your break from the tyranny of unbiased, independent media. Because knowledge and information are just communist conspiracies. Hatriot Mail, written by patriots who hate David Pakman. Because America. And because freedom.
Absolutely. So last week we had a Hatriot Mail episode, before we get to this week's, which it was riddled with grammatical mistakes. Now, some people emailed me saying we shouldn't really focus on grammatical mistakes, but they're actually one of the key parts of Hatriot Mail. And Heather Klossner decided to actually correct last week's Hatriot Mail in red ink, Lewis, and send it to us to show us what it would look like if properly corrected, kind of like the way you would get a paperback in school. And she did that. So we've got that up on the screen. It's very, very funny. And now that we've looked at that, I don't want to waste any more time before we get to this week's Hatriot Mail. This week's Hatriot Mail is going back to the roots of Hatriot Mail, which is criticisms of being Jewish, just incredibly anti-Semitic comments. Let's take a listen.
You need to investigate where your progressivism originated. Over 100 years ago, it was the beginning of the communist movement. It's still the same movement. History always repeats itself because of the ignorant. Progressives are the new Nazis, and you Jews are helping them.
Once again, Lewis, I am being called a evil Jew and a Nazi in the same sentence. It's amazing how many, if in most jobs, like if you went up to somebody who's like an accountant and you say, how often do you get called a Jewish Nazi in your line of work? It's probably not that often. It's amazing, Lewis, that I've figured out a job where weekly I'm called a Jewish Nazi. It's amazing.
It is. It's incredible. I think in this line of work, you really open yourself up to some of the most creative and ridiculous insults.